Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is Cheeseboy628 today giving you Week 7 of NPL Season 9. I am Cheeseboy628, head of the Phoenix Sunkern, and today we are facing the Wu-Tang Clan. Specstar is my opponent. So, he's doing a little bit better than me currently in the division. I mean, you're doing worse than me, so... but this is a crucial game. I honestly think if I lose this one, it's do or die at this point. If I don't get this one, I don't think it is statistically possible for me to make any form of comeback to be able to be in bracket. So this battle is essential, and from here, if I don't get it, I'm just going to have to focus on other things in my life because it's just not going to happen. So long as I don't get 15th or 16th, I guess I can stay in the league, but like, I don't know how hard they, hold that rule to people, but that was the thing that like keeps people motivated. But we'll get to that, right? So let's talk about his team. He has Celesteela, Latios, Toxapex, Tangrowth, Dugtrio, Medicham, Mega Version, Comfey, Tyranitar, Raikou, and then Swirlix. So Swirlix is a meme, but like everything else is like really good mons that he doesn't have in his 2 open slots. So not that he really needs those 2 open slots anyway, because he just has some really good mons. So I'm like, frick. Like, what do I do, Look at his team though, I don't see a lot of good matchups for his Dougie, so I'm totally expecting that to come in, unless he has some really whack set. Other than that, I made a switch in my team last time. I used to have PZ, I switched that for P2, it's the same amount of points, so that's cool, and P2 makes more sense for my team. And then I made Slowbro Z. But yeah, that's basically that. I don't even use P2 in this battle though, spoiler alert. But yeah, with that in mind, I think Zygarde's a decent sweeper, but like, he also has Tang, so I made it a toxic set. You'll see that in a second. I needed to think of a rocker to use. I didn't see Golem or Camerupt having good matchups against him, so that's why I picked Clefable. Weavile is a decent number to his team, but Toxapex, Tangrowth, and frickin' Celesteela, god, what an obnoxious team. So, I did end up making my Weavile Life Orb though, because I hate when it's just choiced when it just has the chance to sweep his team. Also, Miss Mag is pretty good for this team. So I did put a Spexaroonie on it, and then if I'm in the right position to trick onto something, that could be really cool to break down a wall. I have Serena because Scarf Serena's, it felt like a really nice mon for this team, and then I would be able to also do hazard control in terms of that. But yeah, let's check out the team real quick. So that's the team, but here is the actual sets. So yeah, I made it Life Orb, just enough speed to outspeed anything on his team. He does not have super fast mons on his team, or at least this was to outspeed Raikou. It wasn't to outspeed Dougie. But I have Ice Shard, so anyway, then I have Slowbro. I do have Fire Beam Z because I want to take out that Celesteela, and I hope that he'll take the bait. Serena has enough speed with this to outspeed Raikou, and with the Scarf, and be able to be Adamant. It doesn't outspeed Dougie, but like that doesn't really matter that much. Then we got Miss Mag, and yeah, we got a Specs Miss Mag. Outspeeds base 100s with this set, but won't outspeed anything else, so I didn't think it was worth putting any more speed in. Then we got Clef, which is max HP, max defense, and yeah, I just needed a defensive wall essentially, and a bit of a goofy set, but knock off to get off items, and then Moonblast for stab damage, and then Stealth Rock to get up hazards. Then we got Zygarde, which is a cool set. It's got sub, and it's got its standard 1000 arrows and extreme speed, and then toxic for Tangrowth. And yeah, I got a decent bit of Spadef in there just so I can't get, so my sub can't die to like a Tangrowth immediately unless he carries HP Ice. But we'll see how that goes as we lead into this battle. So he goes for Celesteela and I go for Serena, and that is a terrible matchup for me, and I see us protect, and I'm like, dear God, this is gonna be one of those. And so so I go for U-turn, and I go into Slowbro to see what happens, and he goes for Toxic, and I'm like, I really hate my life. And so it turns out he doesn't have leftovers, so I'm like, okay, But then I go into Clefable. I'm like, I have max defense. This is fine. And he's like, this is heavy slam, so you're not fine. And I'm like, oh my god, great. So my Clefable's at 38%, but at least I have rocks up, right? His only potential defogger is Latios, so we'll see how that goes. But I don't want to lose Clefable yet, so I'm going to go back to Slowbro. But it's also toxic, so like this sucks. Yeah, so could you imagine, you'll see later, if I had freaking Calm Mind on this thing, might have been able to beat Toxapex, but still, basically, it could have been really good for me if I had like a Rest Calm Mind. If I was whack, basically, I could have won, right? If I had some random set. I don't like playing stall. As in, I don't like creating stall. I don't believe in screens, and I don't believe in baton pass. I think those are like really cheap tactics, especially in this kind of stuff. That's why I got really mad at BP earlier this season. I just find them to be exploits of the system, and yeah, I'm just not a big fan of them. And along that route, I just would think that, you know, making bulky sweeping mons is usually, I don't know, I feel like it's one of those things that I don't find exciting. I feel like it's too exploitable, and it's just not fun. Granted, other people do it, and that's why I'm also not having fun. So, going on here, enough of the ranting. It's about 2 a.m. here, so that's why I'm just doing my thing. But yeah, he went for Protect, and I was really hoping he'd be like, this isn't a big deal because he went for Scald, but no, he goes into Pex, and I knew that was the most likely switch-in. But unfortunately, I did not go for Psychic to be able to damage him, so that really sucks for me. But yeah, so here, I mean, I could stay in. He's not going to be able to do much to me, but like, I'm also taking a lot of toxic damage at this point, so it's probably not worth it. It looks like he was baiting the Psychic, but thankfully worked for me. But yeah, he has leftovers, so not expecting a super offensive Tyranitar, but this gives me the chance to go for Soft Boil and bring my Clef back to good health. Here I have a couple options. I can go for Knock, or I can switch into Zygarde. And I do opt to switch into Zygarde because this is my chance to finally get a little momentum on my side, because this is the beauty of Zygarde. It's able to take on anything on his team, and if he goes for Tangrowth, I can just Toxic it. So let's see how that goes. Sand and Rocks, giving him some nice damage on his. He has a leftovers though. Go for Toxic, and I miss. I'm mad. That's an extra turn of Toxic right there. If I can land it later, like that sucks. I'm mad. Okay, but he goes for Giga, and he goes for Giga. Like, you'll see in a second, he has HP Ice. I don't know if he's trying to bait me. I think he said that, like, he had enough Spatak to, break my sub from full, and so maybe it was a bait, so when he thinks, oh, I can just continue Toxic Stalling, oh wait, he has HP Ice. But, yeah, it just really sucks, because I could have had the extra damage of Toxic, then I could have E-speeded for a little bit of damage, right? And then... But yeah, so that's like super lame. That's super lame because now I Toxic. Again, he does decide to stay in. I was a little bit surprised by that, but yeah, because of that, you know, he's finally getting Withered, which is beautiful. I'm going to start subbing because I don't know what else he has. Now he reveals the HP Ice. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to go for sub once again because I'm just feeling myself. And then I'm like, Andrew, stop feeling yourself, aka Cheese. My real name is Andrew. But anyway... Yeah, I'm like, okay, it's just not worth it. This guy's got regen, and I do want to kill this thing, but, like, I'm just going to switch out. So I'm going to Miss Mag. I got my Speckaroony Miss Mag here. I have a couple moves I could go for here. I could go for Trick. I could go for Dazzle. I ultimately like to go for Trick, and this man was so stoked because his name is Specstar, and now he has a Specstar. So, alas, it turns out the only stab move he has is Pursuit, so of course I'm going to die, and life is sad. So, with that in mind, I'm going to go into Serena. And I'm going to go for Spin, and now it gets to go into Tox and just forever put up T-Spikes, and life is terrible. So, that's cool. I can go into Slowbro now, and, you know, I don't know. Life, I don't have words. I'm too tired. But basically, he didn't have a great switch-in, which is why I went for Scald. Unfortunately, Do Not Burn, and this is just, I don't know. At this point, I don't know that he doesn't have Crunch, but it turns out he does only have Pursuit as stab. But yeah, that means I'm able to kill him off, thankfully. But here, I'm like, well, Slowbro doesn't really have a... I don't know. Thinking about, like, what's the most good to keep at this point, right? It's like, I could switch into Zygarde, but also it would get Toxic and then take a decent bit of damage, and that sucks. So I couldn't do that. And now here, I go into Weavile because I'm like, wow, Celesteela sucks and I want to kill that thing as soon as possible. And even though this won't die, and I will die, I'll get him low enough to where, by low enough, I mean just lower. So of course he protects again just to make me mad. And then I go for knock, and he's at 35%. So he let me get off the item, which turns out to be a shed shell. Pretty cool idea because, yeah, Golem could have been a little bit memey. It wasn't too bad against him. But yeah, so I go into Serena here, and of course, once again, he wants to make me mad. So he protects, and I rapid spin, which does a whopping 13%. Like, that's actually significant damage. But he probably figures that I'm choiced at this point. But yeah, I go for spin again, because what the frick am I supposed to do? And it turns out he's Drain Punch, which is real cool, because then, you know, he goes back to full health. I go into Clef here, and then I know he's going to go into Toxie-Pexie, and so I'm going to go into my Zygarde. And he goes into Latios, and I'm like, this is interesting. I hope I can 2 a KO it. But, alas, this man, first off, this man has Ice Beam. He also has HP Fighting, I learned, so it's this pretty cool set. It has Colbur Berry, so it's able to counter this and Weavile, the way it has bulk and it's Colbur Berry. But yeah, I get to go to Clef here, and I'm like, life is terrible. I go for Moonblast, just hoping for the best, and the best does not happen. So, going to Zygarde because it's my last chance to come in before T-Spikes are up for the rest of the game, and I'm like, cool. And now he goes into Latios once again, go for sub once again, and here I'm finally like, okay, well this guy's super bulky, so I'm going to have to go for Toxic, because that's like my only chance of being able to wither this thing. And I know he's probably going to go for Ice Beam again, and I'm like, okay, let's go back to Clef. And here's the thing, the only chance I have of winning at this point is if, I'm trying to think, if Toxapex dies. Toxapex has to die, and then Clefable could win the rest of the game. Really could, because Tangrowth is toxic, Latios is toxic, Clefable can take on Medi, it seems. But yeah, Toxapex has to die, but also there is a T-Spike on the ground, and my Zygarde does not have a lot of health. This kind of sucks. The Celesteela only took 9% here, and so I'm not going to be able to kill him, and Heavy Slam is going to do a decent bit to Zygarde, but basically, Celesteela is at the point that it's like, okay, if he comes in again, he's going to be like 1%, so unless he wants to come in immediately following a death to revenge kill Clef, then it's not really worth keeping, and so I am able to kill him off, so cool. And now it goes into Tangrowth, and of course I need to keep Zygarde around if I want Toxapex to live, or if I want Toxapex to die, actually. And yeah, so that's why I go into Clef, go for Soft Boiled, and cool. He knocks off my leftovers, so my recovery is even lesser. He realizes, wait, Toxapex really stalls this thing out, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm just like, lol, as much as I get his item off, yeah, it's just, you know, it's not even worth PP stalling. So it got to the point where, like, I just wanted to bait where I could have one last chance with Zygarde, and if he decided to be real lolsy and just stay in, and I could go for 1,000 arrows, then cool, I actually have a chance to win. But that is just not what happened, and yeah, Zygarde's just gonna die here, and I say, lol, should I just forfeit? And yeah, because I just wasn't sure if by the rules you could actually forfeit. But I did at that point, and that was just exciting. So, long story short, Cheese doesn't like stall, Cheese is tired, Cheese has everything to do in the world, and this is basically curtains for this season for Cheese, because at this point it just does not seem practical statistically to do anything. So I'm just going to make sure I don't get into the bottom 2 for this season, so I'm not the class clown of the season or my life, whatever works. And yeah, that's basically that. I'm going to finish up school. I'm still going to do my battles, of course. I just obviously going to do some reflection to see kind of what happened, you know, throughout this season. Definitely was a whack team that I picked. My hazard control ultimately didn't fit synergy-wise, I think, with the rest of my team. And yeah, I just wasn't feeling it. So I tried, kind of. So hope y'all enjoyed the journey. There's still more battles to come, obviously, but yeah, no miracle story this time around. So we'll see. We'll see if anything happens in the future. But thanks y'all for watching. Like, comment, sub, until later. Peace.